Well, first of all, I'm Katie. I'm the coordinator, if I haven't met any of you. But tonight we've got Mary Powell. She's one of our nurse practitioners. And she's going to talk about really how to use your tool. How to use your tool so that you can prevent any weight regain and really maximize the use of that tool, right? So she's got a presentation. She will take some questions afterward, and then we'll break up into small group and have some fun.
Can you hear me now? Is this on?
Yes.
Okay, good. So at like 3 o'clock, I turned on my computer to add some things to my PowerPoint, and it was gone. So I threw this together. So I hope it has everything on it out of my head that I remember to put on the first one. So just a little bit about the nurse practitioner role in your weight loss surgery. So we are located up on the 4th floor with the psychologist, the dietitian, with Katie, the sleep coordinator in that area. Often we'll see patients before they go to surgery if they need medical clearance from a primary provider, but we also play a big role in follow-up. We see, now that there's 2 of us, Caitlin Beggs is the other nurse practitioner, we work together to see patients at certain intervals after a follow-up. And one of our jobs is to make sure you manage your medical conditions as you're losing weight, but also make sure you're staying on track with your weight loss. So it's important to come and see us. We have ways to know if you're on track, off track, and then to help you get back on track. It's never condemnation. It's always, we want to help you get to your goal. And maybe you're doing something you don't realize you're doing that you can change to help you get there. So this is stuff that I say every day. So some of the faces I've seen here, you'll hear me say some of the same stuff that I say. So we know that obesity is a chronic disease. There's not a cure. Surgery puts obesity in remission briefly, but then you have to work to keep it in remission. So a little over half of patients will regain weight about in the first 2 years after surgery. Bariatric surgery, how does it work for you? It definitely provides you portion control. You can't eat the amounts of foods or the types of foods that you used to. Changes the gut hormones. Those changes happen immediately after surgery. Decreases the ghrelin, reduces your hunger, improves your satiety. Eventually, over time, those changes kind of go away, and people will notice they start to get hungry again. They start to have cravings again. Okay, so that's some of that change. Those changes are not permanent. The portion control is. Next slide. So Katie's created a nice weight loss curve for us, so we can see, depending on what weight you started at, how your weight should trend over the first year after surgery. And then after the first year, you can see that naturally the curve kind of goes up just a little bit or plateaus. It's not impossible to lose weight after that first year. It's possible. It takes a lot of work. It's not as easy as it is for the first 6 months to a year. So this is the tool that we use when you see you in follow-up, just to track and make sure that you're staying on track and to help to intervene if at some point your data's up here. And that's a difficult conversation, but it's one that needs to be had. Hey, you're a little bit behind. I want to help you get back on track. So the basics of weight loss, it's not really basic, but if I were to put it in basic terms, calories in, greater than calories out, you're going to gain weight. Less than calories out, you're going to lose weight. And if you take in the same amount as you're burning, you're going to maintain your weight. So calories in is what you put in your mouth. Calories out, calories you burn. We burn a certain amount of calories just existing, our base metabolic rate. And then actually, as we do physical exercises, it increases that. But it's not as simple as calories in versus calories out, because all calories are not the same. So eating 100 calories of sugar essentially creates a vicious cycle that makes you crave more sugar. It makes you hungry sooner. So if you eat a cupcake versus a piece of chicken, your blood sugar is going to go up. Your insulin level will go up because it tells your body to use up that sugar. But eventually, over time, that process halts. Like the tissues are like, nah, I'm not really going to listen to the insulin anymore. I'm not going to take up that sugar. That's insulin resistance, and it's a vicious cycle. As the cells take up the insulin or take up the sugar, your blood sugar drops. And so when you eat sugar, your blood sugar essentially does this. And each time it goes down, you're hungry. So So if you eat something sugar again, it's gonna spike, and then it's gonna drop again at some point. Protein, however, stabilizes your blood sugar, therefore stabilizing your hunger. It takes a little more calories to digest it, and it doesn't leave the stomach as quickly. So these are some basic tools for using, for using your tool. Things that I say every day, all day. So the first one is no drinking with your meals. I often hear, I just take a little sip to wash it down. Well, that's essentially what you're doing. You're washing it down, making room for more, okay? So I often compare it to a sink drain. Your stomach's like a sink drain. You put food in it, you clog your sink drain. You take a little sip of water, you're pouring Drano down your sink drain. Now your sink drain's empty, and you can eat more food. Okay? So that's the importance of the not drinking with meals, even sips. Liquid calories. Many people give up soda and things, but they come in and they say, I'm just drinking juice. That's sugar. That's lots and lots of sugar. And little to no nutritional value. Yeah, it'll say vitamin C or whatever, but really eat the orange. Don't drink the orange juice, okay? So, and then of course alcohol. Protein shakes, I wanted to point out, down the road, people will still come in and say, I'm drinking a protein shake for lunch every day. Is that keeping you full? Probably at this point not, and it's a liquid calorie. So I'd rather you eat food, protein. Get rid of the liquid calories. Snacking and grazing, the #1 sabotager for weight loss surgery. So people will get in the habit of, well, or I hear 6 small meals a day. No, that's basically eating 3 big meals a day, which is what we're trying to avoid. Snacking between meals, if you're hungry, if you're hungry, you should be drinking, okay, between meals, okay? Grazing, snacking, you end up taking in way more calories than you intend to, and therefore weight loss stops. So 3 meals a day, protein center. Speaking of protein, getting your protein. Protein, we talked about on a previous slide, increases your metabolism, it stays in the stomach longer, it takes more calorie to burn. You need at least 60 grams of protein a day. If you're working out, lifting weights, doing extra stuff, you need more than that. 60 is not efficient, okay? And I know I put on here like meat and eggs, and I know some people don't like those options. So I brought a little handout down that has lots of options for protein, dairy, cheese, vegetable, or animal and plant protein. There's lots and lots of options for protein. But I prefer you do solid, dense proteins, not protein shakes. Quality sleep. I have 2 and 4-year-old little girls, so I thought the Sleeping Beauty picture was appropriate. Quality sleep is huge. Some patients have sleep apnea, you get a CPAP. It's either 50-50, you either love it or you hate it. There's really no in between. But oftentimes patients will come in and say, I went home from surgery and I never put it back on again. And those patients inevitably will have a weight loss stall sooner than they should, okay? So treating sleep apnea is so important. If you're not getting good quality sleep, your body increases the level of cortisol, which is the stress hormone, fight or flight. It says, hold on to the fat, hold on to the energy, we're gonna need it because we're not getting any sleep. Therefore, you don't lose, okay? Insomnia, I mean, even if you don't have sleep apnea and you have insomnia, it's important to figure out what's the root cause of the insomnia, get it treated. It will impact your sleep. I even found a study, because some of my patients don't believe me, but they took about 300 people with reported symptoms of sleep apnea, put them on the same diet and exercise program. Half the group used a sleep app, half the group didn't. The group that used it, on average, lost 7 pounds more in 2 months. So that's significant to me. So sleep is important. So other tips, this is my fun little, start tracking. It brings awareness to what you're putting in your mouth. And so my fun little thing is, if you bite it, write it, drink it, ink it, if you lick it, bick it. If it goes to your mouth, you put it down, okay? It brings awareness to what you're actually eating. I have people all the time, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to, I'm not this, I'm not that. Once I say start tracking, it's like they suddenly start losing. Like they don't want to bring me this sheet of paper that has everything they really are eating. So it just brings awareness to what you're actually putting in your mouth. Increasing physical activity. Physical activity is about responsible for about 20 to 25% of your weight, but it does play a role. It increases your metabolism, and it's good for overall heart health. Liquid protein supplements, I touched on this earlier in the presentation, but those on down the road, if you occasionally need a protein supplement to take with you so you're getting your protein in, fine. Try not to make it a habit. Eventually, they're not going to keep you full at all. They're a liquid. They're going to go right through your sink drain, and nothing's ever going to clog it, okay? And then if you do choose to have a liquid protein supplement, it's in replacement of a meal, not in addition to a meal. So that is your meal. So 3 meals a day, one of them a protein shake, that's your choice, but don't do 3 meals and then add a protein shake. That's just too much extra calories. And then fad diets. I get asked all the time, what do you think about keto? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? I think you have a tool, use it. That's always my answer. Weight loss surgery is not a fad diet. It is a lifestyle change. And lifestyle change is what needs to be in your head in order for you to be successful. This is not another diet. And essentially, you're doing a high protein, low carb diet. So you're doing a version of Atkins, keto, South Beach, whichever one you want to look at. But try not to use the word, keto diet, South Beach diet. This is a lifestyle change. This is what you're taking in forever, okay? So no, it's not necessary to do keto. Just do what we tell you to do. Just get your protein, don't drink any calories, use your tool. So my suggestion for weight, I had a patient come in yesterday and he's like, oops, I didn't get on the scale for 6 months and I came in and I gained 30 pounds. Don't do that. I want to help you, but that's stuff we got to erase. So, and then I also have the complete other side. I get on the scale every time I go in the bathroom. I don't want you to do that either. So weekly weigh is perfectly appropriate, okay? Especially once you get to your maintenance phase. Weighing weekly. Weekly, I expect a 1 to 2 pound variation. That is, did you have a bowel movement this week? Did you have too much salt to eat yesterday? Did you get your protein? Like, that's normal. So don't call me panicking, say I gained 2 pounds in 2 weeks. You're fine. 3 to 4 pound variation, probably need to reevaluate what you're doing. Start those tips, start tracking, start seeing, am I drinking with my meals? Am I getting my protein requirements? Am I drinking any calories? If there's more than a 5 pound variation, then you need to come and see me. Come see me, come see Caitlin. Use your resources. Resources, speaking of. We have all of these, and they're available to you always. So if you need us, please, the psychologists are happy to talk to anybody. There's often emotional eating, boredom eating, other types of eating, head hunger versus stomach hunger, things that they can give you little tips and tricks and ideas to deal with those things. The dietitians are always available. Which protein should I be eating? Is this a good supplement? Whatever. I field a lot of those questions too, but they're really the experts. The nurse practitioners, myself and Caitlin, we prescribe medications all the time. Our goal, obviously, and everyone's goal is for you to manage your weight without medications, but if you need something to help you get back on track, that's okay. It's okay. They're all meant for temporary use to help you get on track and get to your goal. And then we'll talk about managing it without any help later on down the road. But this is when you come to see us. So don't ever feel like, I can't wait, I can't go see them. That's not, you're not gonna get that response from us. You're gonna sit, you're gonna get, I'm glad you're here, I wanna help you, okay? Obviously our surgeons and physician assistants are available on the occasion, people need to have a surgical intervention. And then of course, this group, social media support group, build your support system, have people around that support you. That's all I got. Does anyone have questions? Yeah.
How do you know when you're at your maintenance point?
Yeah. So everybody's a little different. We can tell you by the curve that I put up earlier about where you would land at the end of the year. That's just a rough estimate at the end of that first post-op year. Everybody's body has kind of a set point. And you know it because you get there and you work, and it doesn't quite come off.
I think I'm there.
Right. So, but that's when you come and just come see us. and like, hey, make an appointment, hey, I wanna talk about this, my body's done, but I'm not, help me. And that's what we're here for, okay? There may be some little tips and tricks we can use, or, you know, if we have to add medications, or whatever the case to help get your goal. Yes?
I had my gastric bypass surgery this July 8th.
Okay.
So I had my almost 24-month mark.
Sure.
And the last 2 months, my weight is really slow. And like last month, I only lost 3 pounds. I've been having a lot of complications. I went in and I had a second surgery, which was down the back of my throat because a staple became ajar, and they had to remove it, and it was causing agitation, so I was throwing up all the time. They had to do the balloon surgery to open up my esophagus, and that has helped me. But I'm still really throbbing and vomiting an awful lot. And keeping down the solid proteins is a problem for me, and it got to the point where I was throwing up even all my medications whole.
Sure.
It's gotten better now. As the stomach heals, that's getting better.
Okay.
But I only lost 3 pounds in the last month, and this is concerning me. And so what would you recommend that I do? Because eating like eggs, and I'm a vegetarian.
Okay.
So it's a problem for me. Like they keep saying, well, have salmon, have shrimp. I put in a little bit of shrimp, but the other stuff I cannot do for religious reasons.
Sure.
So the eggs I vomit, and so the only thing that seems to work for me is making balsamic crock pot of multiple bean soup and filling it full of beans, and cooking that for hours along with some vegetables, and that's the way I'm getting in my solid proteins that I'm not throwing up.
Sure.
But because of this frothing and vomiting all the time, it's really slowed my weight loss. Is there anything that you recommend that I can do at this point in time? Because right now I'm kind of stuck at 252.
Yeah.
I lost a lot of weight initially. I lost 27 pounds my first month. So I'm not unhappy as far as where the curve gets, but I just don't want to stay stuck in 4 months and this be only 60 pounds of what I've lost. I've lost 60 pounds today.
Are you still vomiting?
I will vomit on certain foods, particularly when I try to try new foods.
So I don't know if you've heard of the term like a food aversion, but there are certain foods that your body just does not tolerate after. I usually say try them. Doesn't work, give it a month or so, try it again. When people are having frequent vomiting, it kind of creates a vicious cycle of vomiting, create inflammation and anger of the stomach, vomiting, create more inflammation, anger. So I recommend going down to liquids for a few days, at least 3. Let everything calm down without the vomiting, without the...
So 3 liquid protein drinks a day, is that what you're saying?
I'm saying liquids only for 3 days.
Okay.
But you can add the protein shakes, yeah.
Okay.
And then keep in mind that your body, you didn't have like a normal process after surgery. You didn't have a normal post-op process. You had a lot of stress and your body was under stress. And so you didn't have the opportunity to have a normal weight loss. So if we can get you past the point of where you're vomiting and find the foods that you tolerate and trust the process, it will happen for you. Okay? But at any point when you're like, okay, something's not right, what am I doing? Just come in.
Okay.
Just come in. We're here. That's what we do. Okay?
Okay, great. Can I have one of your cards before I leave?
Sure, except I didn't bring them.
Okay.
Katie can grab them.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Anyone else? No? Okay. Thank you for listening to